Hello everyone, this is Direwolf20 and welcome to episode 64 of Direwolf20's Let's Play series. I am hanging out trying to get my nuclear reactor to stay nice and cool. I have a bit of Lapis here, but you can see it's already starting to be used up. Oh yeah, we've already run out of a stack over here, so we definitely have to start worrying about Lapis. Also, I told you guys last episode that we determined we were not producing nearly enough cobble. That's right, the recyclers are keeping up now, but the cobble is not. So we've got a little bit of work to do to make sure that that manages to keep running and doesn't run out, basically. Wow, okay, no scrap anywhere in here. Cool. All right, so how's this guy for scrap, though? He's okay. I do want to kind of test to make sure that the production of scrap is sufficient, but we definitely need to worry more about cobble at this point. So I'm going to make another set of 32 of these igneous extruders and get them all set up properly. But, I'm going to do that off camera, of course, and then we'll be back in a few minutes to see how we can stack that all together and make it look nice and fancy. So why don't I get working on that? Oh, it's nighttime. Better go to sleep. And when I have my igneous extruders, we'll give this thing another try. Then we got to start working on the Lapis production with UU matter, and that's going to be pretty cool. And thanks to the wonder of fabricators, 32 igneous extruders. Nice. Gonna need another set of about 32 of these guys, lava cans. Okay, I better make a few more lava cans just because, I want that thing to keep running down there. So I was about to go fill up my water cans over at the water area, and I decided, you know what, I'm tired of having to do this. It's a nuisance, it takes a while, it's a massive amount of clicking, and it's just a pain. So I want to make myself a couple nifty little gadgets from Zycraft. I want to make myself a valve. Where is that guy? There he is. Cool. Just need any kind of red engineering brick, or any color of it really, some iron bars, and a bucket. Alright, I can manage that. So let's see, do I have engineering brick on me still? Yeah, I do. Nice. And a couple bars. That shouldn't be a problem. I'll make I'll make 2 of these. Why not? And then I've got 2 buckets already handy, so that's good. So, valve, please. Go. 1, 2, 3. Boom. 2 valves. Perfect. Oh, wait. Okay, yeah, it gives us 8. Well, that's okay. We'll need a lot of them anyway, eventually. Now, valves are a really cool item from the Zycraft mod. It adds some awesome stuff. You can use any material, well, almost any material, to make a tank out of, okay? So short of like sand or something that would be kind of silly, that doesn't make sense. So like sand wouldn't make sense to store liquids in, but almost any other material will work. You can use material from other mods like marble, you can use smooth stone, you can use the stone bricks, just a ton of different options if you want. So I'm going to go ahead and start working on what I want to make. Let's go ahead and grab some of this stuff. And I'm going to cook up a little bit more stone, just so I have some more stone bricks, okay? Cool. Now I want to make a tank, because Zycraft tanks have a really nice ability to fill up cans of water. And if we want to create water infinitely, we can use the Zycorium water block, okay? We need some more engineering bricks, and we need some smooth stone, and we need a bucket with water in it already. So let's go get one of those. 3 of you, please, and a bucket. Just got to go fill it with water outside real fast. There should be some over here. There we go. And back to the house. Alright, water bucket, ready to go. We need you, and smooth stone. Oh, it has to be blue engineering brick. Oh, that's right. Okay, well, we can manage that. Not a big deal. Do we have any of the blue stuff? Not in here, but we've got a little bit of it here. That'll be enough for us. Let's put this together like so. Get the blue Zycorium out. I need you anyway. While that's cooking up, make some bricks. And then I just need a little bit of redstone. So let's get some blue engineering brick, like so. We'll get, that much of it. That'll be good. Now we can make the water block. Ta-da! 2 Zycorium water blocks. So what are these guys all about? They're super handy. Blue Zycorium water blocks here act as an infinite water source. Well, basically they act as a water source, okay? So if you place it on the ground, it'll act like water. And what do I mean by act like water? Well, let's take a look, shall we? If I were to get a bucket of lava and place it nearby, it would act like a water source, okay? So it turns lava into cobble, flowing lava that is. Regular lava, like a source block of lava, gets turned into obsidian. So it's basically a block that acts like water. Now the other cool thing you can do is combine this with the tanks that we're about to build, and it'll fill the tank with water automatically. Awesome. So got some stuff to clean up, but I'll be back in a minute when we're ready to build this tank. I'm trying to think about where I want to place it. Good question. Get rid of this junk. Alright, so let's build this thing. I decided I want to put it right out here on the side of my house. Now, here's the cool thing about these tanks. You ready? You can make them anywhere from a 3x3 area all the way up to like a 12x12 area. So let's make like 5x5. That sounds like a good number, right? And it doesn't have to be square, you know, it could be kind of however you want it, but 5x5 just sounds like a good number to me. Now the base of this thing needs to be entirely made out of blocks, I think, and pretty much the corners do. And I'll make it 5 tall. That sound like a good plan? Yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4 inside. We could go one more. Why not? Just for fun. And these guys can store pretty much any liquid, okay? So let's build this out like so. Okay, and I'm going to make the roof of this thing all blocks. Cool. And for the walls of this thing, okay, remember you need to kind of keep the corners structurally sound, but for the walls you can go ahead and use these awesome glass viewers. You can really use whatever you want. I just like using glass viewers because then you can see what's inside the tank. Haha. But honestly, yeah, use whatever you want to make the walls out of. If you want to make it out of all cobblestone, like just a straight up cobblestone, go for it. And again, the smallest you can make is a 3x3x3 because what counts here is the internal empty space. So the smallest area that has internal empty space, of course, is a 3x3x3. It has one empty internal block. Okay, so here goes nothing. Now, in order to get this thing to work, you need to go ahead and create a valve somewhere. The valve is what actually defines the block and makes it do cool stuff. Okay, hey, come back here, glass viewer. All right, I'm going to put the valve on the back, well, yeah, that should be fine. Back corner here. Now to initialize this tank, simply right click on the valve. Da-dun! When you see these little blue lines all over the place, you know that the initialization is complete. And we've now got a multi-tank. It can store about 720 buckets worth based on its current size. And in order to get it to start filling up with water, just place one of those magic zirconium water blocks next to the valve and it'll start filling up. Cool. Once this thing starts filling, and you can see here, it's already filled up with a decent amount of water. It fills pretty quickly. If you want it to fill even faster, you could, of course, go ahead and throw another valve back here. Oh no, I broke it. What's going to happen? Don't worry. All the data of how much liquid is inside is stored in the valve blocks, and I think it evenly distributes the data. So if you break any valve blocks, you'll lose a little bit of liquid. But you can see here, we've still got our buckets inside. I'm going to put another water block in there, and now it's going to fill up even faster. Look at that. Boom. So, you know, the more water and valve blocks you've got hooked up on the back of this thing, the faster it's going to fill up. And these are going to have some very important uses later on in Zycraft. Now to fill up my water cans, it's a simple matter of dropping them in there. And boom, we've got water cans. Nice. So I'm going to go get my igneous extruders running back over here in my main area. I have a lot of clicking to do, so I'll do that off camera. And then we'll hopefully have enough cobblestone to keep things up and running. Alright, got myself another bunch of cobblestone being generated. Is this enough to keep this thing filled? Well, we're going to have to go find out. Let's turn it on. Alright, here goes nothing. Nuclear reactor, go. Alright, reactor is running. Let's see what's happening. Down here, recyclers are churning out and destroying that cobble just as quickly as they can. Wow, that's fast. Are we creating enough scrap to keep this thing full? I'm going to say so far so good. Cool. I like it. Now, how about cobblestone? Are we creating enough cobble to keep the cobble going in the recyclers? Well, we might be struggling, as a matter of fact. Really? Still not enough? Well, we're going to find out. We're going to let this run a little bit. Let's see. I mean, actually, we might be keeping up here. Well, no, this one's out. That's not good. Yeah, we're going to run out here, I think. Though I think we're getting close to the amount of stuff needed. Alright, well, you haven't been pulled from yet, so there's still some full ones over here. Maybe I need to put the speedy into this thing. I'm thinking I might want to do that. You're keeping it out. You're good. How are you doing over here? Are you keeping this thing full? Maybe I want to grab the speedy upgrade. Let's go get one of them. Oh, nighttime again. Hey, look, my Zycraft tank is filling up nicely. Those tanks are really cool. Alright, gonna put the speed booster in this guy, just because it has a lot of machines it has to access. There we go. Now I think it'll behave a little bit better. Alright, so you've got, you know, lots of good stuff to do. Might want to speed boost this one as well. We'll see. But at least at this point, we're doing a pretty good job of keeping up here. Not bad. I think we've hit a pretty close. Like, we don't have an overload. See, this thing's low again. You guys need to work a little faster, I think. I'll figure it out. Alright guys, made a minor change here that I think is helping. I have a little bit of an extra buffer space going on. It seemed like this guy ejecting directly into the item tesseract wasn't operating quick enough, so I've been ejecting into a relay, which is facing the tesseract, and then shoving the items into here as quickly as it possibly can, and it seems to be keeping up pretty good. And we can see even over here, most of our recyclers seem to be keeping up. So I'm letting this run for a little bit, and we're going to make sure that you know, the recyclers kind of keep going as best as they can. I'll be back in a few minutes here once it's done. This thing is mostly keeping up as well. Alright, and another modification. I felt like the tesseracts were a little bit slower than I thought they would be, so pneumatic tubes. Can't go wrong. It's going to keep inserting the cobble in there, and it's going to manage to make things just run that much faster. So hopefully this time the cobble will keep up. See these little tweaks you have to do when you're building a new system? And with regards to the amplifiers, you'll notice that we are maintaining a decent amplifier number. Like for a split second there might be no amplifier, but it's really pretty quick to refill itself. And then it catches up, gets a little bit high, gets a little bit low. So scrap's a random number, but long story short, it looks like we are keeping up with the scrap, which is good news. So the recyclers, we do have enough recyclers at this point. Definitely nice. Yeah, you can see we do run out, but for like a split second, and then we get new amplifiers in there. Cool. I'm liking it so far. So the only question now is, are the thermal expansion, the igneous extruder things, are they keeping up with the amount of cobble required? So I'm going to let this run for a bit, and then we're going to see if we start running into a choke point with cobble. Hopefully not. I think the relay and the extractor here, you can see it's spitting it out as quickly as possible and getting everything going the way we want. Looking good so far. We'll just see if we run out of cobble. Hopefully between, like, as you know, we have 64 of these things. So long story short, hopefully we're, you know, maintaining it. I think we're doing pretty good at this point. But I'll let it run for a bit. So now UU matter is being produced, which is good news. We're going to want to extract the UU matter out of our mass fabricator. And for that, we want to send it and start making two things. Number one, I want to start storing all my UU matter in a, you know, a chest of some kind. I'm thinking I might want to store it by way of ender chest. That might not be a bad idea. So let's make an ender chest or two. Then we can use the UU matter kind of whenever and wherever we need. And then I'll build something that will automatically turn off the nuclear reactor when, you ready for this, the UU matter chest is full. So, you know, at this point, we're going to let our nuclear reactor run and produce as much UU matter as we can. But when the chest is full, and we'll kind of have to add on to the AND gate here and tweak this a little bit so that this MFSU thing works out. So basically, we'll say, you know, keep running until you're full of UU matter and you're also full of MFSU power over here. That way, as I pull out UU matter, it'll turn the reactor back on, create more, and then refill the chest for me. Sound like a plan? I thought so. All right, so this guy we're going to just leave running, and hopefully we'll come back and not find a giant explosion occurred. That would be nice. You know what might be a really good idea? To make sure this area is chunk loaded. I'm pretty sure it is. Pretty sure. Should be. Let's see. I'm just going to go test. You know me. Gotta love testing. So I think in the end this solution here worked out pretty well for us. Can we show lasers, please? Thank you. Hey, let me get back out of there. Now the tricky thing with, you know, tester culling is, oh, okay, no, maybe not. Maybe that's fixed now? Oh, good, it is. Cool. All right, so how's the lasers doing? Oh, it's not. Okay, so we're not chunk loading this thing. We probably should be. So let's bump it up by 1. Simple matter. Come back over here. I see NEI fix the tester culling thingy. Take you, plus please. Excellent. 6 chunk radius should now include the nuclear reactor. Let's come over here and see. Right? Oh yeah, we're far enough away now that we're not even seeing it. Awesome. There we go. I think that's pretty good, right? Yeah, it does look to be containing it. That's nice. Let's real quick see with F9 here. Yeah, look at that. Everything's nicely maintained, actually, pretty well, all within 1 chunk for the most part. That's actually pretty good. Nice to know that I built that house inside 1 chunk. I like it. F9 again to hide the lines. All right, I'm going to go turn this thing off. Then we're going to set up the ender chest for UU matter storage. We're going to start transferring the items into the ender chest. And then we're going to start creating Lapis real easily with fabricators. All right, what better ender chest color to use than pink? So I got some pink dye. I mean, UU matter is pink. Pink dye. Cool. So these 2 ender chests both now access the pink, white, white reference, and we're going to go down here, and what do I want to have? Basically, I want to snag a filter. Do I have one of those? No filters? Really? Come on. I must have a filter. I guess I don't have a filter. Oh well. Maybe unless... No, guess not. Could have sworn I had one laying around somewhere. I'll double check. Maybe in here. See, I knew I had one. Ha! I just need a timer now. Timer, please. Let's see. We're going to need a little bit more of this stuff. All right. All right. Nice and easy setup down here. Just got to hook it up. Let's see. Everything's still running? Wow. Nice. I like the sound of that. So we're getting, you know, cobble in there as best as we can. And things are kind of keeping up. See, the relay here is still backing up a little bit. I was really hoping you'd be able to pull out faster than this thing inserting. Alright, we'll have to tweak it a little bit, but I think we're pretty darn close here to a nice balance. How's this thing for an amplifier? Oh, we filled up UU matter. Nice! That's cool. Alright, so here is where we want to go. I'll just fill this wall in a little bit with some of that. We want to put down our filter, like so. I think I put my screwdriver away already. There we go. Straight into the ender chest. And then right up here, another one of these guys. And this guy doesn't have to be terribly long in duration. I could bump this guy up to like every 25 seconds. Go ahead and pull out, because it's going to take more than 25 seconds. And remember, it pulls out a stack at a time. So it's going to go ahead and throw an entire stack in here as quickly as it can every 25 seconds. So that's not too big of a deal. So that sounds pretty solid to me. Things are moving along rather well. I wish this would go a little bit faster, but long story short, we're doing okay with it. I did put speed boost in here and bandwidth, that's good. So, you know, we're kind of keeping up. Probably struggling a little bit to maintain the amount of cobble we need, but enough for now. I'm done tweaking that. Good, looking solid. So every 25 seconds, we'll pull out the stacks of UU matter. Then we want to detect when this chest is full. Alright, so what I'm going to do here is actually get rid of this entire line. Don't even want him here. Alright, so I'm going to go wireless redstone on this. No sense in running a long crazy wire up here when I've got wireless redstone after all, right? So cleaned that up, got rid of that thing, and down here we're going to just throw a gate on a gravel cobblestone pipe like so. Here and here. And we're going to tell this guy, hey, if there is space in inventory, then emit a redstone signal. Cool. Now, I'm not sure if this guy will be able to hook up directly. We're going to have to see. I might need to have just a little... Oh, it does. Nice. All right, so 11 set. That's the frequency I went. And now my nuclear reactor should be once again running. Beautiful, it is. Cool. So reactor is going to keep running until the chest fills up. Now, in the event that the chest does fill up, you know, something along these lines... Oh look, the signal went off. And what's going to happen? Well, the AND gate is no longer going to have all 3 conditionals matching, and it's going to turn off the nuclear reactor. Look at that. Reactor is disabled when chest is full. How's it going? Thought you guys would like that one. Pretty happy with it. So, get all this stuff out of here. We can pull out all... Come on, clean up. There we go. And now we've got this awesome thing running again. Beautiful. Lots of cobble going in here. Recyclers are being kept pretty well fed. It's not perfect, but it's pretty darn close. If I really wanted to, I could probably make a few more of these igneous extruders, and then we really would be in a much better shape. But we're doing pretty darn close to almost full-time amplifier running, which is pretty much the goal here. Like, we want to do as best as we can without going completely overboard. You know, I think in our multiplayer series, Soren made 512 of these igneous extruders. A little bit much. I think 64 gets us by. You know, if you really want to go nuts, feel free to add some more yourselves. But for now, we're producing UU matter like a champ. Now, the last step here, of course, is to hook up this chest upstairs to these guys, and we'll be able to really start cooking. So, how do we want to manage that? Good question. What we could do, really, we want to make sure that we have enough UU matter to create the Lapis. Tricky. Because we basically need to supply Lapis to both these guys, right? Yeah. And that's the tricky part. Oh, wow, we're running low on Lapis. Holy cow, I better turn this thing off. Yeah, just realized how low we are. Wow, no joke. Lots of lowness right there. So we'll have to pull the stuff out of the fabricators because of the current configuration, right? This thing isn't going to work otherwise. Probably not. Yeah. All right, so let me tweak this a little bit. All right, let's give this a shot. Made myself a filter. Going to place it right there. Fabricator can go here, I hope. And we want to set up the UU matter recipe. So let's set this guy up here. We're going to steal a little bit of U. We need for UU matter to make Lapis 4. And it makes 9 at a time. And it's something along these lines. There we go. Cool. All right, so that guy was on. Cool. Nice. Cool. So we just turned a bunch of UU matter into Lapis. Awesome. Then we just need a timer here to get this thing going. So what I'm going to do is actually set this guy up like so. And then under here I'm going to put a one of these. Let's see. Is this coming out correctly, by the way? I'm hoping it is. Yeah, it is. Cool. So the only downside is we can't open this chest to see what the internals are. That's annoying. How much is that going to bother me? Just a bit. But I used a double chest here so that the same chest could be used for both fabricators. Good plan, right? And then here I can put a little thing that just says, you know, like, hey, if, you know, inventory full, emit a redstone signal. So it's not full yet, but when it is, it'll stop the timer from running. Cool. We can set the timer to like 10 seconds. That's plenty. I'm not worried about it. Okay, so every 10 seconds, it'll go ahead and pull it out. So we're producing lots of UU matter. We have plenty of Lapis at this point, hopefully. We should be producing more Lapis than we're using with our generator running at 2,000 EU per tick. So we're going to leave this thing running and see what happens for a bit. Yeah, guys, I think we're stable. It's been running a little bit now. I'm liking the looks of it. Look at this thing. This is a beast of a build. I'm pretty happy with how it turned out in the end. I mean, we're pretty much doing some awesome stuff here. We got golems maintaining our nuclear reactor, keeping it cool with LZH condensators by throwing them in the chest here, fabricators upgrading them and refilling them with Lapis, Lapis being produced by the UU matter that's being created by the energy here. We've got all kinds of control signals to turn off the nuclear reactor when we don't need it running. We should wind up basically with a chest full of UU matter downstairs eventually that will you know, do its best to keep things going. We got cobblestone generators by way of igneous extruders. We've got a whole system inserting all kinds of cobblestone directly into the recyclers here. Lots of scrap production. And we can even hear our golems constantly refilling and keeping this thing cool. Look at this. Beautiful, right? We can see that the fabricators are both completely out of Lapis internally, so we know for a fact that we're using the Lapis inside this chest. Kind of not thrilled with the fact that I can't open this chest right now, but I might make a minor tweak at some point to change that. But for now, I am really pleased with the way this build turned out. Nice. So now we should have a pretty solid source of UU matter. I like it. So we should start getting a backlog of the stuff pretty soon. You know, I had to go fill a double chest with Lapis, unfortunately, but, you know, that's fine. We should be producing a lot of it. I'm kind of a little curious with how much we have at this point, but, you know, we'll check it out in a bit. I want to leave this running for a little while, and then we'll be back to see how well things run. Alright guys, I let a bunch of time pass. It's basically been a while, and you can see my uranium cells are starting to get low. Now, unfortunately, like I said, I can't open this chest, and it's so annoying to me. But I'm going to go ahead and break this filter for a moment just to get in there and see what's up. Oh yeah, look at that. We've got tons of Lapis at this point. I really wish I could, you know what, I'm going to backstuff this. I'm not going to allow that much Lapis to get produced. There we go. So by clogging this thing up, we should wind up stopping this. Now, once we've you know, gone ahead and cleared out that last bit of Lapis, like we just did there, it's going to allow the timer to run again. Okay, so this last little inventory slot here is going to act as our actual buffer. So we're going to have a little bit of Lapis as a backlog, but besides that, we're kind of done here. So now we can let our reactor run. And the good news is this has been running so long, and we haven't had an explosion. That's really the good news, because it means that like our whole system is functioning properly, which I like to see. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and put this guy right back there. Cool. So, yeah, we should wind up seeing some good stuff occur. There we go. It cleared out the Lapis, and now it detected itself as being full, which is exactly what we wanted to see happen. So now we've got our golems operating our nuclear reactor, and I'm ready to kind of call this job done. Look at that. Nice. That is some really nice work right there. Good job, golems. Alright, just adjusted it so there's just this much Lapis kind of balancing out. That works. I missed. Darn. Alright, screwdriver, do your thing. That works. Okay, so now we should really be pretty much golden. I like this a lot. Yeah, we're good. So the first run of this will have a bunch of extra Lapis, but then the second run, it's going to be almost pure power and UU matter production. So we're going to need another set of, you know, some uranium pretty soon. But for now, producing 2,000 EU per tick. I like this build a lot. I'm really pleased with how it turned out. I couldn't be happier. And look, my water tank's full. Nice. Plenty of water for, you know, future needs. Now, there's a neat trick you can do with those water tanks with, you know, the fabricators. Oops. And if you do that, I'll show you about probably in a future episode. But there's some really cool stuff you can do with those in fabricators. Nice. All right, so I'll let this run for a little bit longer, and then I'll be back in a few. You know what? It has been running so long, I'm interested real quick just to see how my cobblegen and all that stuff is working out. I'm imagining that it's not keeping up like perfectly, but like I said, at this point, just add a few more pieces of cobble and you'll be good. So yeah, it's kind of it's spitting about a 6 or 7 out at a time. Isn't too bad. You know, these things are kind of keeping up. Not perfect, but pretty close. A little bit more cobble and I would probably be in good shape. Amplifier is pretty much staying steady though. Like, we're not getting a surplus of amplifiers typically. Except when the reactor turns off because it's overheating. There we go. So yeah, not much in way of a surplus of amplifiers, but we're pretty darn close to having, you know, a lot of this stuff. I mean, it's pretty much always has an amplifier of some kind. And like I said, it's been running for so long that, yeah, things are working well. I think we've completely tested this thing pretty much as well as we could have. So, 2,000 EU per tick nuclear reactor powered by golems and fabricators and all kinds of other craziness. Awesome. And with that, guys, I think we're going to wrap up the nuclear reactor build. At some point, I'll probably set up some kind of system to automatically charge up crystals. I have a couple plans on how I might want to handle that. There's a couple neat ideas. I got to get rid of this lava still that was created by my UU matter when I was creating that in the fabricator. Just toss this somewhere. I don't really need still lava. See you later, lava stills. So yeah. That'll probably have to happen, you know, in a future episode. Not sure I'm going to jump right into that next episode or not, but we still have a lot of things to get to in this season of the Let's Play series. We're not even close to done yet. I can start filtering some of the Lapis that I'm producing over here, but honestly, at this point, it's not producing as much as I had hoped, so I'm probably just going to swap out the Lapis bees. I'm going to go ahead and put them right in here. We'll get, all right, so we've got a lot of unknowns. How about in here? I'm going to get my emeralds back. I like producing emeralds with bees. So I wasn't sure. That was kind of like a test to figure out how well it would produce Lapis. It did create a bit, but honestly not enough to really make an impact, I don't think. You know, I'm probably sure if I had a couple of these alvearies and I was constantly updating with frames and all that kind of cool stuff, I'm pretty sure you can pipe frames into here. I wonder if I can test that real quick before the end of the episode. That's something I wouldn't mind testing at this point. Because if you can pipe frames in there, it would really help out with my automation. That would be cool. Where's... I need this chest, I need one of these and a couple of these, and might as well even make myself a quick frame. So let's throw one in there. So testing frames going into frame housings on the alvearies. You cannot pump them into apiaries, that's a fact. You cannot put frames in here. But I'm running with the alveary blocks allow you to pump them in. So do we have any standard frames, or am I going to have to go with... Alright, I'll just go with soul frame, that's fine. So real quick test, I'm just going to put this, this, and that. What happened? Did it go in there? It did. Oh, that's key. That's some really good stuff right there. I should probably upgrade this chest too, because look at this crazy backlog of stuff that's happening here. We should probably even, you know, start, you know, liquidating all these bees. Look at this. Imperials. Yeah. Tons of junk that we have to get rid of. That'll do for now. We'll store the rest of these for a bit. And I'll probably at some point automate the transfer of bees from here over to here. But for now, we're just going to leave it as is. So, gotta wrap up the episode here, guys, unfortunately. But I'm really pleased with the whole nuclear reactor build. We covered a lot of ground and implemented a lot of different mods to get this nuclear reactor as stable as we did. And in the end, it worked out really nicely. Pretty pleased with it, like I said. It's still running. It's got about an hour's worth of runtime left. So hopefully by the time, you know, we come visit it again, it will have completely drained itself of uranium. We'll refill it. Yum. And, yeah, we will be able to see the fruits of our labor. We should already maybe be getting a backlog of, nope, no backlog of UU just yet, but we're getting pretty close. I filled that chest up as you saw. Now the last thing that needs to happen is the fabricator needs to fill up. So there we go. See, we've got the fabricator almost filled with a backlog here. So once this last bit of Lapis fills up, then we'll start getting a backlog. There we go. Just got a little bit more from the UU matter production. So then we'll start getting a surplus of UU. And then once the chest fills up, it'll disable the reactor and turn it off. Nice. Not sure if we'll fill that chest up with UU in this cycle, but I'm pretty sure that if I were to get myself another set of quad uranium cells and run this guy again, we would have a pretty full chest of UU matter. Coming up soon, got to get ourselves a gravity suit. That's a lot of crafting, unfortunately, but we'll definitely use fabricators and a couple other important items to help mitigate the pain of making a gravity suit, the costs of which are just astronomical. It's crazy how much stuff you need for a gravity suit. All kinds of complicated materials and crazy things, lots of stuff, but we'll get there. And how's my copper supply doing? Not bad. I think I should turn back on my my system here. Definitely also need to get to applied energistics soon. The system that I've built thus far with you know, all the barrels and stuff in this room, just it's working, but it's backlogging a lot. It's not bad. It's actually, you know, a pretty solid system. But we're definitely getting some backstops. We're definitely overflowing in some areas. And of course, we have to deal with all this overflow, which is just a nuisance. I would like to start using all this quartz that I've been getting, all this fancy stuff, and start making some awesome things known as applied energistics machines. It's a very complicated system, but it's a very powerful one once you understand it. It's a whole logistics-based sorting system. So if you were a fan of logistics pipes, applied energistics is right up your alley, and we'll definitely be checking that out pretty soon. That might have to happen sooner rather than later. Probably before the next world download, I would hope. So, alright, like I said, wrapping up 64. Hope you enjoyed it. And that's a full stack of episodes, isn't it? Nice. Thought you guys might appreciate that. Alright, guys. Direwolf20 signing off. Take it easy.